What's up? This is the tea with Malobi
and Tomisin.
We're super excited to be here, you guys. If you've been rolling with us, you already know we've been here for 2 amazing seasons on IGTV, and God has heard us, you guys. We have stepped up to the Clout Africa studio.
Clout.
We're on Clout, baby! Super exciting times, guys. Super exciting times.
So, the Tea with MT, if you don't know about us, is basically a show where we talk about relatable content for us and you, and we basically try and carve a pathway in this crazy world that we're currently living in. It is content that has to do with sexuality, love, family, relationships, you name it, we talk about it. We're going to kick off with the pre-drinking game, so get your drinks ready.
Get your drinks on.
We're going to play our pre-game, which is most likely to. And how this game works is that we're going to read out some questions, and our audience is going to point and say who they feel is most likely to. When we get to the first 3, the person with the most 3 or the first 3,
first to 3,
yeah, would then drink. Please be nice to me. So, welcome to our drinking section. This is the pre-game, and we are playing Who's Most Likely To, okay? And how the game works is that we're going to read out a question, and you guys get to tell us which one of us is most likely to. The first person to get to 3, when our names are said 3 times, and the first to get to
first to 3.
Yes, first to 3. You know what I meant. I'm ready drinking. First to 3 has to take a shot. So, are you ready? So make sure you're commenting on our Instagram live. Make sure you're commenting who you think is most likely to. Okay? Okay. So, you want to start with the first question?
Yeah. So which of us is most likely to eat at a restaurant and sneak out without paying? Each of us is likely to
obviously cannot be me. So like,
which of us looks broke? Who's there? Like, if you say me, I'll be offended.
I'll be offended too. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Which of us
looks broker? Please vote Tomisin, you guys.
You guys, I don't want to see. So I'm expecting to see some of my guys on here saying Malobi. I don't want to see anybody else.
So can we get comments?
I hate
Tomisin
you.
1, Tomisin 2.
Wait,
Tomisin, we need
are you guys saying that I'm a broker?
Oh, you guys.
I'm
It is what it is. Facts are facts. Tomisin 3. Can we hear more about Tomisin?
No, you did Malobi in this bitch. Okay.
Tomisin 3. Tomisin, take the shots.
Joan, and 30. If I see you in the street, you're dead. You're dead. Okay. Oh.
Okay. Next question, Tomisin.
Okay. I hate you guys. Can't lie. So, which one of us is most likely to show up at work stoned? Stoned, though. All of you should already know that. I want you guys to know that I don't smoke.
Tomisin, your name is still coming out.
They're liars. No, they're behind in time. Don't worry.
So, which one of us is likely to show up stoned to the office?
Wale, what? Malobi, 1.
Maya, what's the meaning of that? Maya, we work together.
Malobi, 3. Finished. Malobi, everybody says you. There's no possible way that I can come to work.
It's because I have sleepy eyes. Nobody.
Get the fuck out. Sleepy eyes. So it's you next.
Wow, same. Okay, so the next question. Which of us is most likely to lie about our age?
Which between me, a Gen Z, and Malobi, a millennial?
So for starters, you are not Gen Z. Like, let's just establish.
I'm a zillennial.
You are a millennial.
I'm a zillennial.
I'm millennial.
Yeah, there's no confusion with you.
Fuck you,
I'm
man.
a zillennial.
Which of of us is more likely to lie about our age?
Malobi.
Fuck you. Who is that person?
Princess. Malobi. 1 for Malobi. We need 2 more for Malobi. 2 for Malobi, Lola.
I'm so disappointed in you.
Malobi, yes, yeah, drink. I got to answer. I have to answer because like Malobi is always coming for me, and I'm sick and tired of it. Drink that. Is that a sip? Is that a sip? Better open your mouth and drink that stuff. Everybody said Lobi. They know it's you. Who's most likely to? Kilode. So, who is most likely to steal from a hotel between Malobi and myself?
I want you guys to think these answers through because there are consequences for your actions.
There are consequences.
Joan, Princess,
Uncle, Wale, you too, because you're in Canada, you think you can just get away with anything. I have boys in Canada, they will beat you. Forget.
which of us is likely to steal from a hotel, you guys? Wale, what's the meaning of this?
No, that was before.
Oh, okay.
Which of us is most likely to steal from a hotel? Remember that we're drinking, guys, so please be aware.
Tomisin, 1. Tomisin, 2.
Yay! 3 for Tomisin.
Tomisin, 3.
Oh my days. You guys, I want to just say that next time you guys should sponsor a better like booze for us to be drinking than this harsh booze.
Tomisin, it came from a good place.
It's from a good place, but I would prefer.
Yeah, like all those babes on Twitter that will be dropping birthday lists and on the they will be dragging people that say they are broke. Please, dear. No.
I will drop a birthday list by the way by this weekend. My birthday is in 3 weeks' time. Please, let's all coordinate.
That's a discussion topic, by the way. Like,
Yes,
what
it
are
is.
your thoughts on wish lists dropping? Is it just like glorified begging? Because it's always bad bitches that come and drop lists. Like, if you're such a bad bitch, how about you buy your fucking iPhone 12 by yourself and stop coming to drop it on Twitter for us? I'm just saying.
On my own, this is iPhone 11. No?
Bad bitches buy their phones themselves.
On my own, this
you're
is
not a bad bitch if you're coming to crowdsource.
No,
for
we
your
buy a new
iPhone.
phone.
I'm not a bad bitch, am I? Am I coming to, I don't broke shame people.
I'm
now.
a bad bitch,
You
and I'm
get-
still gonna ask you to buy my
No,
iPhone.
but Tomisin, you are not one of
Pocket
those
your
people that will be,
feelings.
you're not one of those people that will be telling people that like 200k is small money because you don't think like that.
Yeah.
You have people that will be saying 200k
Wale
is small money and you're
Wale said
Yeah.
her reason will be the robe is comfy. And you know something? That's facts.
Okay, next one. Let's not get derailed. Okay. We're going to cut out all these things now. So, okay. Most likely, this is the final question, you guys. So we're wrapping this up. Most likely to make out with a stranger in a public place. Again, think these answers through. Don't just.
Who
tell-
is most likely to make out based on previous episodes? Okay, who is more PDA-ish and who is not? Then who is most likely to make out with a stranger in a public place? Okay, let's be.
Tomisin.
No, that's not part of
Okay.
it. You're so quick to jump. You want to just put your head in. Kilode, relax. Relax. They haven't said Malobi yet.
Most likely to make out with a stranger in a public place. I vote Tomisin.
You're not allowed to
What
vote.
are you, Tomisin?
No.
I think you actually.
1 for Malobi, 2 for Malobi. Eh? 2 for Malobi, 1 for me. Demola, I'm going to get you back. 3
Maiwa,
for
do you have
Malobi.
something
3
against me
for
personally?
Malobi.
Maiwa
Drink.
says- Okay, I'm offended. I just
In
want
a
to
public
say
place, so it's not going to be me. And no, wait. A stranger, it will not be me. If you just say public place, is most possible.
A stranger would not be me either, Sha. I take exception to that. A stranger wouldn't be me, but like
Everybody say Malobi,
A stranger
Sha.
could be me,
Everybody.
Sha.
A stranger could be. Wait, a stranger has been you. Wait, a stranger has been you. Keep your fuck you, bro. Facts. I got receipts. You get me?
we've come to the end, you guys,
Yeah.
of the pre-game. Thank you for joining. We love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Don't you love me?
Fuck you. I love you, but fuck you. So this segment is called the Operative, and it's basically where we talk about just light banter about things affecting myself and Tomisin and you guys, and it will ease us into the flow of the more serious conversations on the show. Today's Operative topic is basically, I want to know, Tomisin, are you in the streets? There are a lot of questions, to be honest, that we need to ask, but I would like to know, first of all, are you in the streets?
Yes.
What? Okay, so what does it mean because we hear that every day? Everybody says they're in the streets are rough, but we're all still there. I'm not there, by the way. Let me just put it out there. But what does it mean when you say you're in the streets?
I guess being in the streets is, first of all, not being in a committed relationship. Mm-hmm. It just means that whatever happens. Wherever you find yourself, you are there. Whoever you find yourself with, you are with that person. It's kind of just being in an undefined space, which is where a lot of us find ourselves when we say that we're single. Mm-hmm. Because if you ask me if I'm single, I'll say yeah. Does that mean that I don't have people in my life? No. Do I know what those people in my life are? No.
So if you're not seeing anybody, let's just define that. If there's nobody in your life, you're not in the streets. You're just alone.
Pretty much.
Yeah. To be in the streets, you have to be like in entanglements, at least one entanglement.
Yep.
So, but like we always say, I know you're not happy. No. Like the streets are cold. We all know that. Why do you find yourself remaining in the streets? Why are you not picking one of your hoes to start a relationship with?
Is it just like that? You just pick them. You didn't tell me this before. But I mean, I guess because the people that I am seeing, quote unquote, are people that I don't know if it's going to move into a relationship. I don't really know the definition of our relationship. It's just what it is, right? I can't just decide today that this is someone that I want to be with. And I haven't really found that person. Maybe the people that I'm seeing are not the person that I actually want to have a long-term relationship with. Because if I want to leave the streets, I'm not leaving the streets for 2 months or 4 months.
Can you really tell?
1 year. I know you can't tell, but I don't want to be in such a position, I want to be in a long-term relationship. If I'm going to leave the streets at the age that I am right now, that's what I want. Now, have I found the person I want to do that with? I don't know. So I'm dabbling in different pools to kind of see which one matches my temperature.
But I feel like this whole like non-defined relationships are like the order of the day. Yep. When it comes to being single generally. Yep. I'm going to speak on my experience as a Nigerian single babe. Or based on my experience as a Nigerian single babe. We generally run away from defining anything. And I think the reason for that is because a lot of the time we don't know what we want, or we don't think that what we want is acceptable. I'll give you a simple example. Okay. Like unconventional relationships, like open relationships, polyamory. I think that if we are generally more open or welcoming to the idea that you can be in a committed relationship with multiple people, it will be easier for people to define and venture into meaningful relationships. Because the fact is that not everybody, I think that it is a more realistic philosophy to live by than the monogamy that we sort of push by default, because everybody is cheating.
That's facts. And I also feel like if you kind of look at the history of where we come from as well, you will find that, I mean, when I think back to like great-grandparents that I've heard stories about, none of them were ever in a monogamous relationship as far as I'm aware.
No, but those ones, are they not more one-sided? How many women were marrying several men? Wasn't it more
marrying, but in serious relationships with other men aside from their titled husband, for example? I think if you look into our history as Nigerians, I mean, me, I'm speaking from Yoruba culture, you will find that women also had other men that they were in serious relationships with, aside from the titled husband, But I mean, personally, I don't want to be in a open relationship. And so I'm very happy in the streets until I find, that person that I want to completely commit to. I don't like sharing. I didn't learn that one in primary school. I like putting all my energy into one person and giving that one person all my attention and being with one person. I don't want someone who's gonna come and cheat on me and tell me that we're in an open relationship now. I don't want to hear any of that. I want to be in a committed relationship. Till then, me and the streets, we date together.
But do you think that the dating pool, I would say in Lagos, do you think it's impressive?
No, it's dirty. It's absolutely dirty. Like, it's upsetting. I mean, I haven't been able to find or to like clarify what exactly the issue is with the dating pool in Nigeria. I really have no idea. But it's very difficult to actually find people who are willing to communicate like effectively and tell you what's really happening, right? Not just lie to you and like make you feel good today, and then tomorrow you go to 57 and they're there with like the babe that they said that you should be okay with. I don't understand all of that. I don't understand the lies. I don't understand any of that. I'm a very straightforward person. If you tell me, Tomisin, this is our relationship and this is what I also want the same thing, then I'm happy to move forward. If it's not what I want, I'll move away. But people want to eat their cake and have it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is with like our generation. I think that we have a very eat your cake and have it mentality. Nobody wants to be vulnerable.
Nope.
Nobody wants to be emotional. Nobody wants to let their walls down. So we all keep lying to each other. We all keep telling each other, oh, like, you're fine being, but really we're not fine being in the streets.
No.
But we don't want to take the steps that are required. We don't want to tell each other the truth. Like, okay, I like you, but I don't think that I want to be in a relationship yet, so walk away. We want to be able to hold on to that person. Yep. While we've defined what it is that we want, and then we just end up hurting each other. So everybody's like walled up, and yeah. Good luck with that, Tomisin.
I know, but like, is it worth being in the, is it worth sacrificing my independence at this point of my life as well? Is it worth it?
I don't understand.
So like, I'm an independent, young, financially okay woman, you know, and one guy in the streets to come and tell me, no, you're my guy now, geez, like, come and be my babe. Is it worth getting into that position with these people in the Nigerian dating pool?
I think that, I don't know, for as many people who are not ready for meaningful relationships, there are other people who are ready. So it's just about filtering through the garbage.
And so, like,
That's
will I
just
find
what
them in
it
W
is.
Bar? Will I find like, where would I find these people? Like, I have not met these people yet. So
I think we should be open to non-conventional. Have you tried dating apps before? This is very random, but I have found that the online, so when you say the dating pool in Lagos is trash, I have found that the online dating pool in Lagos seems to be more productive and more.
Why do you have friends that have made it?
I do
out of
have
the
friends
streets based on dating apps.
Yes, I do have friends who have gotten into meaningful relationships of specifically Bumble.
Oh, okay, that's
specifically
nice. You know what's
Bumble.
crazy is that my friend made me sign up to Bumble literally this time last week. So I've been on Bumble now for 1 week. I have
Everybody is there. By the way,
every single time I swipe and I see someone I know, I die. I'm like, so you mean all of you are here and you didn't inform me?
And everybody is forming, we want to be on the streets for life. It's a lie.
It's a lie.
They're actively searching for love.
But
Actively.
they left me on the streets and they are on Bumble. It took me how long to get on Bumble? I didn't even know about it until my friend goes, Tomisin, I'm tired of you talking about your man problems. My friend gets on Bumble and I was like, what's that? Okay, I downloaded it. I'm talking to a couple people in the last week or so. It has gone pretty well, actually. There's one particular... And it doesn't matter, I'm not going to get into that. But, you know, it's going well and it's interesting to find. And I'm like, where is this kind of person on the streets of Lagos? Where do I meet them? Someone told me that I need to start hanging out in more, you know, better influential places that I should not be going to. I should not be going to
W Bar.
W Bar.
There's no love in W Bar,
Lighthouse,
guys.
and
Oh, God, Lighthouse, please.
And I was like, okay, so but like, where else? It's a bit difficult, you know. And I'm getting quite tired of the streets. I've been saying it now for like a year. If we had this conversation a year ago, you already know me. I'd have been like, I'm for the streets. So streets love me, I die here. But I lied. I lied. I'm not interested anymore, and I would really like to get off the streets. I want to get into a car and drive off. That's my goal for this year. I cannot lie, but I'm also not trying to push myself to be in a position where I'm not happy with the person that I end up with. So I'm just trying to take my time and get off the streets in my own way with the right person, hopefully, and be off the streets long term. Yeah. So, finished asking me about why I'm in the streets, but you that you're not in the streets, I really want to know, how did you get off the streets? Give me tips, help my life. How do I get off the streets? Don't laugh, answer me.
I feel like, honestly, me getting off the streets was just, you have your hoes, you have people you're seeing, obviously, because you're in the streets, and you have your favorites. And I like definition. I'm not one of those people that will just be wondering about for me when in the streets for life. Like, I always want to define, do you like me? What are we doing? That's me, because I would rather take your rejection with my chest, cancel you, and move on, than be wallowing in that. So I will always ask for definition, and the person wanted to be with me as well. So we just took it from there.
It's luck.
I think it's a time and chance thing, really. That's what it is.
I don't have luck.
But I don't believe in wasting my time. That's one thing that I will always do. I will always ask for definition. If we are hooking up for an extended period and you're starting to get jealous about me being with other people, I'll ask you, what's up? What's this about? Do you understand? If I start to feel some type of way, I'll tell you this is how I'm feeling. So I will know. If you say I'm not doing, okay, I'll just include 1 or 2 people in my life. And I know that, okay, we're just, you get. So for me, I think you should just be willing to have the conversations and be open to rejection. Because how are you supposed to find your prince if you don't kiss a few frogs? There's like one prince in like 100 frogs.
Like my mother.
But yeah, I
totally get you. I totally get you. I think definition is something that we are all scared of, and it's ruining us. It's ruining us. But I mean, it's very hard to then find somebody when everybody that's approaching you is either someone that has been cancelled, or I'm
someone that can cancel you.
Someone that can cancel, or I'm cancelling, or they want to cancel me. So like, it's very difficult, and I don't know how to navigate that at all. So in this scenario now, we just have to like find some kind of balance in dealing with people that have been cancelled and have not, and people that we could potentially cancel. For me,
I agree.
Okay. I mean, it's tough, man. I'm tired of being in the streets. So like, now I'm just thinking about, okay, like why don't I want this person, or why have I cancelled this person, or like why am I in a position?
When you say you've cancelled someone, sorry to cut you short, do you mean that you will never be able to re-engage? Is it for a time? Is it for like a time frame? Is it something that you...
Personally, I can't re-engage. You have cancelled me, or you have dated around whatever we were doing before. It's going to be very hard for me to now come back. I'm a big babe now. I know
What?
Oh wow. This life. It's over. It's dead. It's done. Better go and find somebody else, because you already moved on. And when I glow the fuck up, when I glow up, don't come running back. That's all I gotta say. So, this section is called Pour Me a Stiff Drink. So basically, if you're into soft drinks and, mocktails, just skip to the end. This is the hard stuff, okay? We're going to be talking about something pretty serious. And we're talking about cancel culture. Coming from the topic of relationships and people canceling each other in relationships and being abandoned in some way. Is cancel culture a real thing? And why is it a real thing? Where did they come from? And how long are you supposed to cancel someone for? Because
I personally feel like cancel culture is real online, but in reality, it's like a fleeting spur of the moment based on our emotions at the time phenomenon.
Yep.
That's what it is.
agree.
Yeah, because a lot of the time, it is based on how you feel both about the person and about the situation. We have people that see situations that are glaringly bad and they say, I choose to stand with this person, not necessarily because they are bad people, but this person is in their inner circle. They find it, they cannot excommunicate the person and whatnot. So I think it's a personal thing. I think that we try to make it a lot more concrete and more substantial than it is, but a lot of the time it's just social media outrage. It ends there as far as I'm concerned.
Honestly, and I think it affects people on social media. People take things a bit drastic. Literally this morning I saw a tweet where someone was saying that's how you guys ended Lady Donley's career because because of this thing that happened.
Wait.
And I was like, for real, her career is dead? I don't know about that. Like, is that a real thing? Legit.
Okay,
But
because the thing that happened, yeah.
But the thing is, she's still working, she's still getting booked, still getting gigs, she's still doing stuff. But somehow on social media, her career is dead based on something that has absolutely nothing to do with her, but because she is affiliated with someone that something happened with.
So I was going to say that I actually sort of take that back. While it is a social media thing, we cannot deny that cancel culture has far-reaching effects.
Yep.
We have people like, what's his name, Israel, the boxer, who said he was going to rape somebody, and then Labour started to drop him and say, okay, he's no longer ambassador, he's no longer this and that. So there are definitely far-reaching effects of cancel culture. However, I feel like a lot of the time, the effects are not as long lasting as you would expect with the level of passion and intensity that we cancel people.
Yep.
Do you get? Like what you said, Dundlee's career is clearly not cancelled. Like she's doing good. Do you get? So it is a personal thing. It's serious, but it's not that deep. I think we move on quicker than we like to admit.
Yeah, we don't like to accept the fact that in real life, some of these guys still have friends. People will still go to certain shows by certain people who are supposedly cancelled online. It's life. At the end of the day, people move on, and as human beings, we're so fleeting.
Because I think that forgiveness is a real thing. Like, it's very easy for us to form, oh, this person did this, end their career, let's do this, let's do that. Like when Tory Lanez shot Megan. And then people went on his Instagram page and they're like, oh my God, hotties, let's end his career. I'm like, what the fuck are you going to do, man? Will you sit down? What are you going to do?
You're still going to stream the music.
You're still going to stream his music.
Play in clubs.
He's still going to do a live video and you're going to watch it because it's just what it is. Do you get? So I feel like we try to overemphasize the strength or the effectiveness of, I think we move on with time.
People definitely move on. And you know, like, where cancel culture came from apparently is from this Wesley Snipes movie, New Jack City, and he goes something like, cancel that bitch, and that's like where it started from. Really, I don't know what year that was, but since then, since 1991 apparently till now, that has been the reigning. You know how things pick up in pop culture. Cancel that bitch became cancel.
What did he mean when he said that? Did he mean kill that bitch, or did he mean what does cancel? Like when you say someone is cancelled, what did he mean then? What does he mean now?
I just think it was a different meaning entirely. I don't particularly think he actually meant cancel her whole life, end her career or something like that. I'm not entirely sure that's what she meant. But like, he just kind of meant like, free this one and I'll get another one. Basically, I think the babe was his girlfriend or something, so he just dumped her. Basically, just to say that, not like he was saying end her career or end her life or kill her, as many people on social media kind of do when many of these things come up. If you look in the comment section of some of these Tory Lanez and co, you'll find like some really, really serious,
some dark
threats.
comments.
Yeah,
I swear,
really
I get
serious
that.
stuff. But then again, I mean, if you think about it, some of the things that these people are accused of that make you cancel them, things like rape or domestic violence, are those things not like
important enough for you to cancel somebody.
I agree. I do feel like, and in certain situations, I don't support the whole conversation of, oh, this person is in my inner circle. I think that if someone in your inner circle does some certain fucked up things, you should cancel them.
100%.
So when the whole surviving R. Kelly thing came out, when everybody was really into R. Kelly and his crimes and everything he had done, because he had been doing them for a while. But when it became glaring that he was a sick person, we had people like Erica, who is, by the way, one of my favorite people on the earth. But I was just really disappointed that she came out and said things like, oh, he's sick. And if someone is sick, why would you feel anything but like love for them? And I'm like, this guy was peeing in a child's mouth, my sister. Like, I love you, but what?
Yo, that's crazy.
So, do you understand? I do believe that there are certain things that people do that you should cancel them. There should be consequences. And I don't think that people, because they're in positions of power, people like certain personalities that have been accused of rape, and then all of a sudden the person comes out to say, oh no, the evidence was manipulated. I cooked up the story. And like, we all know that this thing actually fucking happened. So like, I get frustrated when I see people moving on and saying, oh, like it's a normal thing, like we should be able to forgive her. I do think that cancel culture should be maybe not as, maybe it is what it is like right now, but I think it should be a lot more serious in certain cases. I don't think that somebody who is a rapist should be allowed to walk the streets of Lagos freely and post videos saying, oh, social media court is not a court, live and let live. That's fucking bullshit. Do you understand? Like, I don't think that we should. So I think that in certain cases, cancel culture should be upheld. I don't agree with that whole doctrine of forgive and forget. People make mistakes. R. Kelly didn't make a mistake peeing in a child's mouth.
He did not. He really did not. But then, I mean, if you bring it like back home, down to our own home ground, and we look at people that have been cancelled in recent times, all they do, right, is disappear, or they will drop one lawyer's letter on the timeline, disappear for a couple months, then come back on IG.
And post a video in white.
Post a video in white shirt at the beach. My friends sit down, and then all his little friends, all the people that are so-called friends of his inner caucus are coming out here posting love hearts.
No, but here's the thing. We have such a warped legal system in Nigeria where you are never really able to concretely, properly say, okay, this person is guilty of this crime. You know that. So when you're in this person's circle and their lawyer has come to drop letter and they're telling you, I didn't do this thing, and you know this person hasn't done that to you, so you don't. Do you understand? I think it's understandable that people would feel like that. So when there are cases like that, I think you may not really be able to hold them and say, oh, they shouldn't forgive. Do you get? It's a different thing. Like when there's like that Yoruba actor.
Okay.
Baba Ijesha, that there was a video and then you have some idiots coming out to say, oh, until the court finds him guilty. That person is guilty as hell. Are you joking? What the hell is that? There's a confession that, do you understand? There's a CCTV like video showing everything. So that is a different case. Which is why I cannot understand people like Erica who are in support of R. Kelly or saying they're sending love to him. But in cases where it is your word against the person's word, don't you think that cancel culture needs to chill a bit? Sometimes, especially because we're in a system where we cannot necessarily determine who is guilty or not guilty. How do you handle those situations?
I mean, I don't know. Especially in a country like here, I think the only way that we understand things in this country is money, right? And in that aspect, I feel like the only thing that you can really, really do to hurt somebody is not go for a show. Don't stream his music. If you personally have this, you're opposed to this person, going on his IG does not help your case because you're giving him more views, which means that more brands are going to want to sponsor him.
Boycott him.
But you don't have to force somebody else to boycott him, but you do what you need to do for yourself. Do you get?
But wait, can I ask something else? When you boycott him, is it for life? What's the time frame? For somebody, because this person that came to post pictures in white, he gave a time, like there was a bit of time between when the crimes, the allegations against him were spoken of and when he made the video. So like, are you saying he should not come back on IG? You should not post again?
Honestly, right, for me, I just think that every
cancellation I've ever had has been a personal decision. If I've decided that this person I'm canceling you, it's up to me to decide whether or not I can forgive you. At the end of the day, this person in white, I've had to work with him, right? I also had to work with okay, I'm not gonna say his name, but I've also had people that I feel I have already cancelled, right? I turned some jobs down because I feel like at the point in which I got the jobs, I couldn't work with the person because I had cancelled them so deep in my mind, right? And I can't move past it until I'm ready to move past it. You can't tell me when that's going to be, but I'm able to make the decision for myself. Whether that's a lifetime is my own business. Whether it's a month or 2 months is your own business. But for me, the decision is like any situation to do with domestic abuse. I'm sorry, but for life, you are dead to me. Any
So
situation to do with
exactly.
rape, you are dead to me.
So is it dependent on the situation?
For me, that's why I said that it's very personal to me. If somebody that I know has been affected by this person,
Fair.
it's going to definitely hurt me a lot more than if it's some stranger that there's opposing evidence to what the person said and I'm not sure because I don't know the person, I don't know anybody in the situation. But if I know someone who has actually been affected by said person, it's going to be a lifetime cancellation. I'm not gonna lie to you.
So how do you handle cases of people trying to force you to cancel someone or trying to cancel you for a reason that doesn't make sense, like because you support Erica instead of Licon or like Beyonce or like something that you don't consider to be cancel worthy? How do you deal with that?
I mostly ignore said person because they clearly don't have things to do with their lives. And I just feel like I said before, cancel culture is a personal thing. Somebody wants to cancel me for something that I don't feel is cancel worthy, then that's their prerogative. They can cancel me. By all means, go ahead and do that. But don't be looking for me next tomorrow when you need your 2K. I won't do it. You get it? That's it. Like, I really have no... Cancel me. I have no issue with that. If you feel like I deserve to be cancelled for something that you feel makes sense to you, even if it doesn't make any sense to me, you can do so. But that I would not respect you. I'm sorry. It's not as if I did something that is cancel worthy or I deem cancel worthy. And so it cannot make sense to me, and I will just ignore because there's no way that will make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think cancel culture is like a lot more complex than we try to pass it off as. It's not a cast in stone, very one blueprint type situation. No. A lot of the time, there are complexities and there are different situations and circumstances that we have to take into consideration when we are judging people's actions and whatnot. So if you have an opinion or you have a conviction about someone else's actions, hold it with your chest and do it for you. I don't think that anybody owes you any cancellation. I don't think that because someone did something that you think is bad, if someone else is like, oh, I don't think it's that bad, you should try to force them into accepting, because in the end, it is you. As you've said before, people will always play R. Kelly's music. People will always listen to the band. People will always laugh at the comedians that are inappropriate and whatnot. It is a conviction thing. As long as you feel a certain type of way about it, uphold it and don't let yourself be swayed. That's another thing. Don't cancel people because other people are doing it. Like
canceling. It doesn't make sense, because if I come and ask you about why you cancel the person, you can't give me a reason for yourself. I kind of respect you less because you don't have a mind of your own. You're just canceling based on the vibe. And I just feel like that's weird. But I would really like for us to discuss this cancel culture in more depth. And I think if you want to discuss it and want to talk about specific names, because I name drop, I don't have energy, I don't have time. Follow us on the Tea with MT Pod on Instagram, and you'll have us on IG Live on Friday midnight talking about some of these conversations, having real conversations about this, and you can engage with us as well. So yeah, I think that kind of rounds up this topic.
It does.
Okay, as we've come to sort of almost the end of the show today, we're just gonna go into our nightcap, which is basically like our wind down topic. And today we're gonna be talking about grief management. Coming from the topic of cancel culture, it is very obvious now that cancel culture can be taken to a form of bullying or violence. There's a point in which it gets to where it becomes so incredibly harmful to other people, up until the point that it can actually lead to suicide, especially in a time where we're in a pandemic. People are at home, they're focused on their social media, they're not really talking to other people as much as they would have. It is potentially very, very harmful. And in the year 2020 and 2021, we as a global community have been through a lot of death, a lot of grief, a lot of stress based on grief. So how do you manage grief? I know that you've been through quite a bit in the last year or so. I don't know. I find it very difficult to deal with grief. I mean, in many ways, I've had people in my life that have passed away, but I find it very difficult to deal with that. But I really want to know, like, if you have any tips for everyone listening.
Yes, so based on my experience personally and a bit of research that we did, we do have tips for you. 5 tips that I think we're just going to do like myths, what people expect when you're grieving, and then what the reality is. Because from my personal experience, I lost my dad in 2019. At the end of 2019, he was ill for a while, so it was a very draining experience for me. But I realized that after he passed, the range of emotions I expected to feel, the amount of grief, the tears I expected to cry, and the sadness I felt, it was very fleeting. It was replaced with numbness very quickly. And I was so scared of being alone. I started to like go out almost immediately after. And people were like, this baby, your daddy just died. Why are you out? Why are you at Donnelly's show? Why are you at this and that? So I just feel like everybody handles it differently. But the thing is, till now, I don't think that I have actually come to terms with the fact that he passed, because I never got to see him. I never got to attend the burial. I never got to do all that. So I think that I have been dealing with it in my own way, and it is unfair of anybody to demand or expect that there should be a certain way you heal.
Yeah.
So everybody should just take grief on as a personal thing and understand that whatever you're feeling is unique to you. So handle it as you can. Take each day at a time. I'm going to give us 5 tips, or give you guys 5 tips for grief management. And you, Ba. For grief management, I haven't really had experience with anyone committing suicide in my circle, but I've had a few people that passed away, like because of COVID or because of sickness or any other thing. So I feel like this would be key for them as well. So the first thing is that most people assume that your pain will go away if you learn to compartmentalize and ignore the pain. The opposite is actually the case, because all it says is you're just keeping it away. It's just like a raw box of pain. You never really get to heal. You understand? It's like when you have an actual injury and you just put plaster on it. You can't leave the plaster there for life. It's just going to continue it will never dry up and heal and whatnot. So it's important to understand that pain, no matter how shitty it is, you have to go through it at some point. Yeah. You can go out for 2 years. After the second year, it will hit you at some point. So brace yourself. The second thing is, and this affected me particularly because my dad left behind a wife, and my mom, they had been together since she was a child, since she was like in her teens. So we were all very worried about her. And because of that, we all felt the need to be strong. So like at the funeral, we were watching it and everybody was trying, to like be strong. Don't cry too much. Don't this, don't do that. Like even when we had the Nigeria funeral, we were all trying to be strong for her. And I feel like I never really got a chance to grieve my own grieving. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So while the expectation is that you should try to hold things together and put up a strong front because you do have to move on, it's important for people to allow you to feel your feelings as well.
Yeah.
Do you get? Now the third one is, if you don't cry, it means you are not sorry for the loss. I know of people who just can't bring themselves to cry, can't bring themselves to express pain the way that we consider to be conventional. I think those people are actually the most vulnerable because they don't have an outlet. A lot of the time, I'm a crier, and I have noticed that when I do cry, I feel better. People who don't have that outlet, I think, are actually going through a lot more than we who are able to express. So when people see you and they say, this person is not crying, maybe she's the one that killed this person, it's just...
Niger.
It's very Nigerian and it's very primitive, and it's not helpful at all, because all you're doing is making this person feel guilty, more guilty than they already feel. Because if you notice, death is a very sudden phenomenon. There are so many conversations you never get to have, and so many things you never get to iron out. So you feel like that was taken away from you. The last thing you need is anyone else coming to tell you you're not grieving as you should. Yeah. It's just an additional feeling of, so please, when you see people and it seems like instead of crying, they decide to do like a shopping, like plunge themselves into shopping, that's their way of dealing with it. It doesn't always have to look a particular way. And then there's this other perception that people have, or expectation that people have, that your grief should last a particular time. There was a time I was talking to someone about me experiencing grief a few months after like the incident happened, and he said, what's wrong with you? Won't you move on? And he was saying to me, when his own dad died, that after the burial in the East, after 1 month, he was okay. And I'm like, bro, I'm not you. Like, I am not you. Like, the circumstances are so different, and not everybody heals the same way. I think it's unfair for you to demand that somebody heals within a certain time frame, because here's the thing, you will never see this person again. You can be alive for 50 more years. You're not going to see that person ever again. So it's such a sudden, final incident. You should just let people fucking be, man.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And just to like speak on that, is just the fact that, I mean, I've lost people in my life to suicide, especially. I think those have hit me the most. And it's just the fact that this person has now left me on their own accord, and that's the end. I can't pick up my phone and call one of my girls and be like, yo, I want to go shopping, because she's not there to go shopping. And it's tough, but as we are in 2021 now, and we're all kind of collectively dealing with grief in our own different ways, let's just remember to be respectful to each other, and understand that everyone deals with these things differently. I just want to really just dedicate this particular episode to your dad, to Fatima, to Toku, and to every other person that we have all lost. To Chris's mom, and just to everyone that we have lost in these last 2-3 years. It's been tough, but
it has been tough.
We're gonna make it, guys. We'll make it. So yeah.
Clout. Reach out.